Yeah, this thing is kind of crazy. What's going on, guys? It's Res. In this video, I actually want to go over a brand new shield, the Infernal Wish. Now, real quick, I just want to say I am on the road to 10,000 subs. So if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, be sure to stick around. I'm going to be posting a ton of content like this, and I would love to have you on the journey. I truly appreciate it. The Infernal Wish is actually a crazy, crazy shield. If we read it, it says adds 1 projectile per shot when shield is not depleted. Firing weapon can cause self-combustion, which increases with each Infernal stack, resets on second wind. So there's a lot to digest there. It seems kind of obvious, but when you actually use it, you kind of are confused a little bit. It took me a little bit to understand what it's doing. And this thing actually makes some of your weapons insane. Now, I say some of your weapons is because you're adding an extra projectile. So on weapons that already have a ton of projectiles, something like the light show, it is adding the projectile, but you're not going to see the damage increase anywhere as if you actually use it on something like a single projectile weapon. So to show you really quick, I'm actually just going to unequip all of this right now so you can see the damage numbers itself. So we have no gear on to influence anything. Our guardian rank is turned off, and we have no skill points. So this is just pure damage from the weapon, and I'm actually going to use the Psycho Stabber right here because it's kind of easily, you can see what it's doing. So normal damage is 11k by itself. If we actually equip this shield, since it's doubling the damage, we go to 23k, so it's essentially double damage. Now, the way this is working is because you're getting that extra projectile. So on all your single target weapons, you're doubling the damage. But like I was saying, if you use it on something like a light show that already has ×4 pellets, you're doing 104. I'll get a little closer just to be sure. 104,000 damage. You equip the shield, and you're doing 130,000 damage. So as you see, you are getting the damage increase, but it's nowhere as much as if you're just using a single target weapon. Now, to easily see the projectile, I'm actually just going to be using a Major Kong right here. This is probably the easiest weapon to actually see it working on. So this is a ×2 variant, so it would normally shoot out 2, but now that I have this on, it's shooting out 3. So really cool. It's very simple on how you're getting the extra damage. Now the hard part is this self-combustion part and this Infernal stack thing. So basically, if you just keep shooting, you're always going to get this damage buff. Now, if you read it, it says when your shield is not depleted. So you would think as soon as your shield gets depleted a little bit, your damage buff's gone. But if you actually look, I'm on fire and I still have the double damage. So you had this double damage literally the whole time your shield's up. When it says depleted, it means when it's at 0. And that's where the second part of this build comes in. So with this self-combustion, it's actually trying to make your shield come off. But since it's fire on shield, it doesn't do much damage at all. So you can keep this damage buff up a long time. But if you look, these orange little things on the ground, when you pick them up, they actually make the fire damage increase. So if you read it again, so the self-combustion is going to increase with the Infernal stack, and it resets on second wind. So when you pick these up, this fire damage is increased forever until you die and get back up. So the more of this you have, when you have this fire damage procced on you, you are going to start dying very, very fast. But as you see, it is somewhat of a luck thing, and you could just not ever get self-combust like what's happening right now. But sometimes you can immediately get it, and you're just going to go down. So as you see, we're starting to get combust again, but it is not dropping any of the Infernal stacks. And there's one. And so as you see, it's going to start ticking up really, really fast once you pick a lot up. But it does take a long time to actually start doing it. So if you're lucky enough, kind of like what's going on right now, you can have this damage buff up for a long, long time. All right, so I finally got a lot of the stacks now, so you can actually see how much damage it will do if you ever stack them up a lot. So as you can see, even on a shield, it's starting to chunk down. And once it gets to the health bar, I'm just going to immediately die if I stay on fire. Yeah, as you see, I'm starting to die very, very fast. But yeah, that is how this shield works. Essentially, you keep shooting, you're going to get damage on you. The more the little orange things you pick up is stacking up your damage. The more you have, the more damage you're going to take. And you always have this extra projectile, no matter what level your shield's at. When it says depleted, it literally means at 0. Then that projectile goes away. So to show you that really quick, again, I have the double damage right now. If I throw that on the ground, now I don't have the double damage. So this shield, again, is going to be very, very good for all your single target weapons. Honestly, probably going to be one of the best since it literally just doubles the damage of it. And I can also see some crazy builds coming out of this, especially even on Amara or Zane with all the elemental status things. You can take something like One with Nature for reduced elemental damage reduction, and you might just be able to get to the point where you're not taking that much fire damage. But if you ever get enough stacks, it's going to shoot through that elemental resistance, and you eventually will die. But it does take quite a while if you are using a conservative. But in boss fights, if you're trying to use a single target weapon, be sure to equip this. It's literally going to double your damage, and it's really, really good. But yeah, that's going to do all for me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.